Oh, we're live. I didn't.
Hello world, and welcome to our live stream. I'm Aaron.
I'm Garrett.
And today we are here with Hex Allen of Hex Allen Comics, creator of Nephilim Squadron, here to tell us all about his current crowdfunding campaign, still in demand on Indiegogo. Hey Hex, welcome to the show.
All right.
What's going on, friend?
Hey, how's it going, Aaron? Good?
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
Frequency Girl, do you want me to add you to the... Yeah.
Sure.
Oh my
And
God,
it's Frequency Girl!
I'm getting some feedback.
Oh. Is that better? You okay, Hex?
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, man. I was somewhere else for a second.
Let's say hi to the chat.
Hey,
It's
chat.
Mo Biggs.
I'm back.
Oh, but we also have an Arid Saga. That's great. Cool. So before we get into the book, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and we get to know you a little bit better? Why did your mama name you Hex?
Well, she did not, but that name, it came from just the idea of me being an all-around arts tool. You know, I can do it kind of many different styles, and as far as drawing goes, and I'm also a designer, animator. So I'm like the Hex Allen wrench, or Allen Hex key that has it serves many purposes, and it can fix almost anything. So I'm kind of like an art tool.
So how many wrenches do you have on the different channels? Do you have a lot of wrenches?
Hold
Hex
on,
Allen
we're
wrench.
having a
Handful.
Okay, we're gonna have to give you one.
we're having an audio loop issue.
Oh, come on.
Oh no.
I don't understand why.
Oh, so yeah, I named my website Hex Allen, but my name is Mel Allen, and I think most people know that. I'm not hiding my name. And so when I started a social media presence, I just went with Hex Allen because of the website, and then people started calling me that, and
Is it something with the mic?
I'll stick with it.
We're good. We're good. I fixed it.
What was it?
It was my settings.
Okay.
We're good.
I don't hear anything.
Oh.
What's up, Ronnie? Welcome to the chat. You're not on the show.
Hey.
Welcome to the show. You're in the chat. It's okay, Hex. People are no stranger to weird names around here. Garrett's parents named him Orion, so.
Really?
Oh, it's one of my middle names.
Oh,
I'm
that's
jealous. I think it's a cool middle name.
yeah. That's not so. It's not so abnormal. That's more heroic than anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And Orion was one of my favorite characters from probably my all-time favorite comic book series called Grendel from Matt
Oh yeah, I
Wagner.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
Orion
was such a
was
badass comic. It was Dark Horse,
yeah.
right? Back in the day.
yes, Dark Horse.
I usually confuse Dark Horse and Vertigo in my mind. I can never separate them because they both have the black logo
Yeah.
and they both have the sort of comics, alternative style comics, not just superheroes and crap when we were growing up.
Yeah.
So, what got you into comic books? Do you remember the first book that turned you into a fan?
Into a full-fledged comic book fan, that would have to be oh god, this is going to sound corny, but probably West Coast Avengers.
That is corny.
Hey, I was like 13. So.
Hey, no worries, man. That's cool.
Do you remember the lineup, the roster? Is that the one with Wonder Man? Is Wonder Man on West Coast?
Yeah, Wonder Man, Vision and Scarlet Witch, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So how'd you find that comic?
Well, there was a kid at school. He was sort of into comics and kind of got. He wasn't really a friend, but he was just kind of like a peripheral to our group, and he knew I was kind of at the time just kind of into anime through Robotech, and which was probably around 1984 and 85 or something. So I was like in 7th grade, and this kid comes up to me and he goes like, "Dude, do you know the Avengers?" I'm like, yeah, sure, Avengers, sure.
Do you really know the Avengers?
Not really.
Do you know the West Coast Avengers?
No, they've got Avengers West Coast because we're in the West Coast.
You're on the West Coast.
And I was like,
yeah.
whoa, yeah, hey, identity politics. You're West Coast, I'm West Coast. So I rushed to the comic store and I just went straight for that, and then but that opened up a whole new world of the Marvel universe, and then later DC, and then but I was also I got into the indies at the same time as all that black and white stuff.
So, what kind of comics do you like now?
Sheesh. I guess everything I'm getting through crowdfunding, because it's been, I guess, maybe over 2 years since I've been to a store.
Oh wow!
And I'm strangely probably within walking distance of 3 comic stores in my area, but I haven't been in like 2 years. I'm kind of like eyeing them now and wondering what's going on, and kind of curious about getting back in there and seeing what's doing. But yeah, I really haven't been paying attention much to mainstream, except for people complaining about it on the internet.
Yeah, that tends to happen a lot. I mean, Garrett and I have been talking about people looking at contemporary mainstream comics and just not liking the offerings, but I find that it's really just the big 2 for the most part, and occasionally just I guess like outrage stoking titles from some of the other publishers that are not the big 2 but are still in the mainstream.
Well, somebody finds something they don't like and they fixate on it.
And then there's still a crap ton of publishers that get direct sales from comic shops. So they have, established distribution models. And they are publishers that, put out their own stuff. They have their own printing. But nobody really knows anything about them. There are a whole bunch of, studio names that you bring them up and people are like, who? What are they?
3 books that I'm really excited about right now, that if you're looking for titles to check out and kind of like dip your toe back in. Obviously, I talk a lot about Daniel Warren Johnson.
Oh, there we go.
He's doing a run on Beta Ray Bill with Marvel, and it's outstanding. I think issue 4 is coming out this week. But they're doing reprints on all of 1 through 3, so you should be able to find it still.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Beta Ray Bill series. So.
Yeah, James Stocco is currently in the middle of a run, Orphan and the 5 Beasts, which is freaking wild.
I mean, it's James Stocco.
Yeah, it's like a combination of 5 Deadly Venoms meets Riccio, the story of Ricky.
Ridiculous, exploding organs and shit. Yeah.
And then finally, I just picked up issues 1 through 3 of Ultra Mega. And
book, bro. That book.
Awesome.
But, I mean, that's the thing. So, you've got Beta Ray Bill out of Marvel. You've got, who's putting out Orphan? Is that Image?
That's Dark Horse.
That's Dark Horse. And then you got Image. Actually,
Skybound.
Skybound's
putting out
Ultra Mega.
Yep.
And, I mean, those are still mainstream, names. I was referring more to stuff on the level of Antarctic Press, which people are familiar with that name, but they're not necessarily familiar with it for the stuff that Antarctic Press puts out. People are familiar
or Dynamite, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, even Dynamite, that's a household name. There are even less known presses. I was just fascinated by the amount of comic book studios out there that exist that I know nothing about. that are technically mainstream because they're sold at my local comic shop or can be ordered directly by my local comic shop. I was just like, there's a whole world underneath this that I don't know anything about. I guess I'm not a real comic fan.
Well, before I got into crowdfunding, supporting crowdfunding, I guess I really mostly followed just my favorite authors, like Alan Moore, Garth Ennis, Matt Wagner. Those are my guys. People like that. There's some others I can't think of right now.
So let's jump into the chat again real quick and say hello to Jeremy Burtz. We've also got
Jeremy.
24 Eyes. It's the flattening, my friend.
I missed saying hi to 24.
We've got Dean. Dean showed up. It's time to end the stream because Dean is here. Here's here early though, so
Usually he shows up right as we're signing off.
he gets to catch a little bit more of the stream until we cock it up and accidentally cut out early. Noah says Garrett isn't flatting. What happened? Did he decide it's not as hipstery as as staring into the camera? I stare into the camera a lot, Noah, and I don't think it's hipstery. I think flattening is probably a little bit more hipstery, which is why we don't get enough of it. Garrett wants to keep it rare. I flatten. You probably never see me do it.
Well, I here's the thing. I do everything, so only a fraction of the time I spend flattening. Otherwise, I'm kind of figuring out panel layout, drawing, coloring, all the other stuff. So
that is exactly.
If I was just a flatter, I'd be flatting all the time.
Then you wouldn't be making any money. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly my point. Antarctic Press is a book. I don't know a whole lot about what's coming through Antarctic Press. What I mainly know is the controversy that arose after them throwing Zach under the bus and then the resulting lawsuit and all of that. So that kind of gave them a crap name in my mind, but
yeah,
I used to love them. I feel the more and more I look into it, the less and less I really know what's really going on in comics, like what the books are. I know about the politics and I know about the social justice and all of the crap stuff that Twitter and the internet tell me all the time. I don't know enough about getting, the books in my hands. And so I'm feeling like I've been robbed by pop culture. They haven't really told me what's important lately.
Or social media.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this: if you do have a local comic store, it's really worth it. I don't know where
it's underneath your scripts. The scripts that I gave.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Perfect. It's worth popping in.
Look at this freaking thing.
Last time I was there, my local comic shop actually gave me their old previews book.
I'm gonna go.
And this is a hefty book that's just
guys. This is June. Okay, this is not like the annual. This is just June. What is available for ordering in June?
There is all kinds of crazy stuff coming out.
Some great looking titles.
Worth going into.
And it's previews, so you get descriptions.
A lot of this is pretty freaking indie. It's publishers I've never heard of. It's comics that I've never heard of. I'm sure there's people out there who are mega fans who are like, yeah, I know all of this stuff. But I think most of us only have a very limited amount of hard drive left in our head, and having something like this, they toss on a monthly basis. Yeah, just go see if they're willing to give you one of their old previews books. Yeah,
I just open up to a random page, and you've got Seis Cuerdas, Defender of Mexico, number 3. I've never heard of the Defender of Mexico, or OA Booty Pirate Queens SC from SQP Books. Who? That's just a random page. Flip it open and see. Ooh, shot glasses. There's some merch from Dark Horse.
And things to help you drink.
Yes, because we all need to drink given the state of the world. So you said that Ennis and Alan Moore are, I guess, your boys, as you put it. Are there any other artists or writers that inspire you to make comics? Mo says his brain is like that. What? I missed that.
I missed it.
Sorry.
My brain is like the warehouse at the end of Raiders of the Lost Slaughter. You mean kept by top men, Mo Biggs? His warehouse is maintained. His brain is maintained by top men.
Everything neatly stacked away. Yeah. Well, I love Steve Rude, and he's a big inspiration as well.
Dean is laughing about our camera positioning, I guess. He says, notice how most of the time you can't see all their hands at the same time. Neff actually rests his hand on Garrett's leg. He's not wrong.
It's a very nice leg. Don't forget that.
Why do he makes Frequency Girl sit on the other side of the table? I love our chat, man. It's the best.
Well, they were saying, because I think it was Noah said that sounds like Neff makes Garrett do everything. I think. Yeah. Sounds like Neff is forcing Garrett to do everything.
That's kind of like our relationship.
Brutal than my writer.
I come up with ideas, I write them down, I hand them to Garrett, and I go, make those things real.
And Dean said, but at least there's love between Neff and Garrett. And then it escalated.
That's quite a long reach around. I mean, you guys had your arms like, on opposite sides. Wait. Never mind.
Mo says, I don't think it's even a sexual thing. It's just the intense emotional bond that they have. That's fair. Garrett.
It must be the chairs. There's something with those, some power with those
chair
chairs.
bros.
Hey, Salazar Nation. We haven't seen you around these parts in a while. Good to have you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
I don't remember the last question I asked you, so I'm just going to move on. When did you start making comics? I know you've got some experience in educational children's books, illustration, and also animation, so I want you to tell me a bit more about your experience, but when did you decide to start making comics?
Well, pretty much this is the only one I've made, and it's been 30 years in the making and remaking and remaking. So just been working on this one intermittently for all that time. But this is like the final. This is it. I'm not gonna do a different version of it anymore because I won't get it done until I'm in my 70s if I do that. But other than that, other than this big one, that I've done just like some very short page, short story type stuff that I've only shown a handful of people. And but as far as professionally in comics goes, I was a paid intern for a few months at Motown Animation, where I met John Hervey like 26 years ago, and I didn't run into him again until like last year when through Comicsgate. So fun.
That's pretty cool.
Mm.
I love stuff like that, where like you reconnect or
or just like I recognized John, and I was like, that name is so familiar, and his face. And he was at the time I guess the writing department, hanging with the big wigs, and I was a colorist in the colorist section. But I see him walking around the halls, and I guess we knew who each other were, but yeah.
Hey, we've got a Phoenix animation and
hey, look off.
And we got the Sugar Chris.
Oh my gosh, Sugar Chris.
We got a Sugar Chris. I got your face on my mug.
Must be your day off.
Hey, Sugar Chris.
So you're drinking out of his face?
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, fellas.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a nice party up in here. So, about that experience, do you have any formal education in storytelling or sequential art?
Well, formal education, that I was an English minor at a fine Jesuit university.
Me too. Another thing we have in common.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so I was. I started off as a fine arts major, and I really dug the life drawing with the naked women and stuff, and the painting. Yeah. I learned a lot from painting. Painting was just some great courses, and but I felt that wasn't too much of a challenge after a while, and I started thinking about graphic design because it seemed to be a more practical field to get into. So I switched my major to graphic design and took up an English minor. And all this time I'm thinking I'm going to do this comic too. And then I started doing it in college too. That's when I really kind of took it seriously. And but then, lost confidence along the way. It fell off, and then started working and started it up again later. But yeah, the formal education, I was English minor, graphic design major. But it should have been the other way around, because I really excelled there in writing. High level classes. And,
I was going to say, you're one of those rare writer-artist hybrids, like Luke Stone or some other people that we know. Are you more attracted to story or art? And real quick, I think Quaff wanted to know if your story has a gun that turns people inside out.
That it does.
Awesome. Yeah, so we're going to get to talk about that in just a few minutes. But yes, Quaff, he does have one.
I think he's must have heard about it through the grapevine.
So, story or art, if you had to pick one to make.
I think it's for me the results of my art is more satisfying. But I think I'm a better writer than artist. But as far as like the enjoyment, I think I enjoy penciling and inking more. Yeah.
We got a Zaid Comics up in the house.
Hey,
say hi. He's saying hi to you.
Hi, Zaid.
Everybody's saying hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming, Phil. So, excelling at writing more than drawing, but drawing out of necessity, or would you ever consider hiring another artist to draw?
Yeah, but not for this project. This one I got to do myself because.
No, I mean I totally get it.
Because the people in my head are telling me I got to do it. Yeah. But for the next project, I'd love to, be much more collaborative and just either do art or do a story. And,
so as mentioned earlier, you had experience in animation, right?
Yeah.
Why tell stories through comic books then? Why not literature, film, or animations, or in the case of Skip Edwards, puppets, because everyone loves puppets?
Well, as Skip can attest to, puppetry, you have much more control over what you're doing when you're making a comic. You can make changes on the fly. And
yeah, I think it was Don Chin who echoed the sentiment. He said, when you're working with comics, you can just draw the characters. When you're working in film, you have to deal with actors. He's absolutely right.
I think
you want total control over what your actors do, right?
That's what we're saying, is that comics creators are just huge control freaks.
And it's true. I want it to look the way I want it. So are you still working a day job? How do you balance your professional life with your personal life? And how do you find time to write comics?
Well, the writing I do like mostly on the weekend, but the day job, it's currently, since I'm working from home, it's a blessing because I could just stop working, take a nap for like 30 minutes or so, and get back to the artwork. And not have to worry about commutes and getting shot on the freeway or something. That commute just was hell. It's like Mad Max out there in LA.
We like Mad Max.
Yeah.
Garrett's a huge Mad Max fan. So just as a reminder to everybody, it is the beginning of the week. We have yet to make announcements and stuff and catch people up. But there is the Red Valkyrie art auction this Saturday, June 19th. So don't forget to prepare yourself for that. Apparently, Bill's going to be auctioning off some silhouette stuff, and Dean is super excited because he's got money this time. But little does he know he doesn't have enough money for the silhouette. Yeah. I think I might fight you a little bit. We'll see how much Silhouette stuff is on stale, but that is my favorite character from the Lost Pages.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
the Lost Pages are great.
Hey, Oliver.
What is up, Oliver from 656? Thank you for showing up, dropping in, saying hi.
Hey,
always glad to have you. And I don't know if we said hi to Jeremy Burtz earlier, but hi to Jeremy Burtz in case.
I think we said hi to Jeremy Burtz like 3 times.
He was here. So, all right, let's talk about the comic book. Let's talk about Nephilim Squadron. You got a gun that turns people inside out. That's fantastic. First up, though, what is up with the name Nephilim Squadron? It's not an homage to me, and I don't think you're referencing the titans of old, the children of the gods or angels, because this happens on an alien planet. Or are you? I don't know. What's up with the name?
Well, the name is kind of clickbait. It's sort of a ruse, but it's also it relates to the characters and what they go through, and as like they're children of fallen angels, and they go from great heights to disgrace, and try to work their way back to honor. So in the beginning, you'll see them at their top of their games, and so yeah, Nephilim is kind of related to the characters and the character arcs. But it's also related to my interest in mythology and mysticism and esotericism.
And we do a lot of con. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
and a lot of people in crowdfunding seem to be into this kind of thing too. But I also made a fun thing where Nephilim Squadron is not the only squadron in the Soul Interstellar Forces. There's also the Vimana Squadron, and the Lungta Squadron, and the Ketsa Squadron, and all of these are based on like mythological flying creatures or vehicles.
See, he used mythological naming conventions for his giant fighting machines. Dave's report, man. I completely agree. If you're naming them after, like, I don't know, Greek gods or military units or whatever, you want to stick to a particular, I don't know, pantheon, right? You want to,
this is kind of worldly sort of, it's all connected sort of pantheon. Kind of the way what John Harvey did. I'm ripping them off. I'm ripping off everybody. I'm ripping off Seven Legions.
You're ripping off Super Dimensional Fortress Macross. You're ripping off G-Force. You're ripping off Mobius. It's okay. We all rip off everything.
Oh my God! You see it. You see right through me.
He has a good diet of creative inspiration.
Yeah, that's true. I was getting super strong Macross vibes off of this, and I loved the old Macross.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's the first thing that got me into Mecha. And it's got that great blend of Mecha and Jet Fighter with the variable fighters and the Valkyries.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's so classy. Actually, I have my robot over there, my Macross robot. You and I are going to need to play robots.
Hey, hang on.
Uh-oh.
Now, can Aaron find it in time? Oh,
I know exactly where it is.
Absolute rarity.
That's great. We're going to go big. We have to play Robots Hex.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to I mean, this was such a great buy. I was so happy when you tweeted that out. I would not have caught it on my own. Thank you so much.
My only regret is that I should have gotten sets of two of everything, one for display and one to play. Right?
One to play with, right.
Yeah.
Want to keep mint in box as a collector's item for down the road. I was always terrible about that as a kid. I would always take it out of the box and touch it with my grubby Cheeto fingers and play with it, and enjoy the heck out of it.
I mean, you still have grubby Cheeto fingers.
He doesn't open anything.
I learned. So, Yeah, like I was saying, it has that great feel of classical Macross, which is really just an exciting property.
And even the characters were kind of ripped off too.
I was noticing
Jason,
that one of the guys
Jason is like Hikaru or Rick Hunter, and Frank Mercury, he's kind of looks like a Roy Fokker, right?
That guy right there on the right hand side of the page with like the curl. His hair needs to be blue. You know what I mean? Like I saw that and I was like, oh my God, it's definitely Macross. And it's wonderful because having that comic memory brought forth, through another work, that sort of like intertextual play there, that's what I want in my comic books. It's not just like a callback, it's homage. It's building on a property that I'm familiar with. I love that look, so I'm probably or hopefully going to enjoy the thing that is channeling that. And we're huge fans of Mobius on the show. Your landscape work is it looks just like Mobius.
Yeah, that's another thing I was gonna another influence. It was Mobius and a lot of heavy metal artists, heavy metal magazine. Like Juan Jimenez and Arroyo.
Yeah, Luis Arroyo.
All the dudes that you look at their work and you're like, fuck off. It's like, I'm never going to be that good.
I mean, I look at most of the artists in CG that way because I can't draw.
No, but guys like Mobius, Jimenez they're just on another freaking level.
I couldn't eat.
I mean, we honestly we should aspire to artists like that because we can get there. It's
Yeah, after a while though, I just when I started this final version, I stopped with the trying to actually be Mobius and I can show you guys earlier versions of this. Later juncture. There's going to be a big making of book too.
Real quick, those helmets. We're doing a mech book, as you know. We're doing MAVRICS, and helmets are a big thing that a lot of people don't really think about. We drew our helmets once in the concept art, and then I guess halfway through, Garrett's like, "I want to change the design."
I was like, "What the hell is this? We drew up helmets."
I gave you some basic ideas of what I want the helmets to look like, and then you went did this thing.
A classic flaw, and I think any kind of sci-fi art is over designing the hell out of tech. And because you got to remember that you got to draw this shit over and over, over again from every different angle. So you got to make it simple and like easy to draw, but really identifiable in that simplicity. It's difficult.
Yeah, it's difficult. You did a really great job here. And I love the visors. I just got to say, I think that the visors are great. Once again, it evokes G-Force to me. I loved G-Force as a kid.
And those visors are...
Do you have any tech that's in the book that you have been cursing your designs on where you're like, maybe I should just...
Why did I design this so complicated?
This spaceship just needs to get blown up because I hate drawing it.
The what I'm calling the shroom dragons. Those are the those weird creatures you see floating in the pages, attacking the city. Those creatures, they've got such specific segmented joints and parts on them that I made in the original design, and but now it's just like it becomes just an automatic motion. Now that I've been drawing pages, so at first that was kind of a little hurdle. Was drawing those flying creatures.
Right on. But by the way, responding to chat there, if we're going by Lifefield's anatomy, I probably have close to 400 bones to pick with Liefeld.
Garrett,
bones and pouches.
I got you.
There we go.
I got you, bro. He's got a whole skeleton.
No. More than a whole skeleton.
More than a whole skeleton? Yeah. He's got a graveyard.
I'm just saying, there's some... The mutants he draws are mutant for whole other reasons than the comics will tell you.
Garrett looks like the hipster slacker lumberjack who makes everyone else work harder because he's too busy using the stumps for his soy latte tea parties every time they down a tree.
Oh.
All right, man. that's some fucking shade being tossed.
Oh,
man.
Say hi to Pop Culture Avenger.
First things first, though.
Hey.
I don't drink lattes. I drink Americanos.
Black.
Yeah. Just
That's
like I
me.
drink my coffee. Black.
That's me.
Because that's way less hipstery. I love you.
I'm not saying I'm not less hipster. I'm saying get my drink order right.
Oh, okay. I thought you were using
No.
hipster,
People can talk all they want about me as long as they're talking about me.
Hail chat. Hail Pop Culture Avenger.
Hey, Pop Culture Avenger, how's it going?
Yeah.
Glad to have you.
Oh yeah, I want to say those visors also. Those are not solid. Those are that's holographic.
Yep.
So yeah, and then all of their display, all the HUD has a displays right there in the visor, and there's no the cockpit of the glass, the gridline aerial vehicle there you see on the cover. The cockpit is like a total sensory deprivation chamber. It's completely dark, black, and with maybe a little few tracer lights.
Yeah,
and,
on the MAVs, there's no exposed cockpit. It's it's all internal sensors, so it's a three-dimensional environment, and they're in a chair, and they have their neural connections to the operating system for augmented reality, and then they have a plug suit that attaches to various pressure points on their body, where the neurological information, like thinking about moving your legs, you have sensors on your legs, so it's picking up that nerve activity going on there. Yeah, there you go. And everything is a hexagonal honeycomb like structure, and so when they turn it on, it just kind of like shimmers so that you can see through it. But when you turn it off, it's just gray Durasteel, plating.
By the way, drawing hexes over and over gets old real quick.
Oh man!
That's the thing, you don't really think about. I mean, as a writer, you don't think about until you see your artist going to town. You're like, man, those look like great hexagons you're doing there, man. I love it. And he's like,
It's like those solid shapes.
Yeah. So, talking about I guess the book, and like I can get a stylistic feel for the art, the setting. Why don't you tell me more about this space fantasy war epic? Is it like the year's 20XX and mankind has colonized the outer rim, but on the surface of Tamarin 12 a war is brewing between the Sol forces and the bizarre, fast-evolving fauna on the planet? Like, what's the pitch for this? Tell me about the setting.
All right. Well, it takes place in the 28th century, specifically 2778. And the story is about a clone pilot in this far-flung future of war whose personal desire is to acquire a soul. And the reason he and his cohorts are on this planet, that they're part of the Soul Interstellar Forces. Or SIF? Hey?
I just put together your launch date. It makes sense now.
Oh, why?
No, I'm just...
Are you seeing something I'm not seeing?
With your... you were talking about your fascination with the esoterica. The things that I look at is numerology. I know it's silly and weird, but like you said, 2778. It makes perfect sense given the launch date that you selected. I don't know, have you made that public knowledge? When you're launching, I'm not going to say it if you're not going to,
Oh yeah, and I've said it on streams, but I haven't brought out the marquee or anything.
717-2021, right? So you're setting it in 2078. So you got 7, then 1 plus 7. You got that 78 right there. It's just a nice, That's kind of cool. I don't know if you did that on purpose.
No.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to what you were saying before.
It came from the ether.
Yeah. I mean, that's where all of this stuff comes from, right?
Yeah.
It's all from the imagination, the collective unconscious, and you're channeling it through yourself to make it real so that everyone can enjoy it and go, oh yeah, that strikes upon something hazy in my mind, some sort of, familiar, wonderful work from the, great beyond.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm shutting up now. You keep I did a little too much DMT yesterday.
And the timing couldn't be better with us living in a post-disclosure world,
right?
On this planet, there are human colonists or human civilization that started from a colony, and generations on, and as this civilization has grown rapidly, so have they been fighting a war with the native species on the planet. And the thing is, there was never supposed to be any intelligent sentient life on the planet for humans to colonize it in the first place. And this sets off some alarm bells for the home Earth system, who see this reaction in a part of the landscape that triggers. This is not a spoiler. This is kind of like a sort of the crux of the whole thing. In the part of the landscape where these creatures, the El Savali, originate from, the area disables all electromagnetic ability. Nothing electromagnetic will work within this several miles range of an area. There you go. There they are, the El Savali. Yeah, those are the weird mushroom-like humanoid creatures on the planet, and they're on a tear, trying to destroy the human civilization. But really, they have a kind of an ulterior motive. Okay, shouldn't say that.
That's okay. I mean, like you said mushroom-like. So now I'm thinking regenerating through spores and like decomposing material. And then you said something earlier, or at least in this, about cloning. And cloning technology. I mean, you've got multiple generations born on Tamarin 12, which is the planet. It means, I imagine, that some people have died at some point, and then you've got some sort of fast-acting evolutionary process on the part of the mushroom people. So we're gonna find out over the course of this, like, where they came from, and there's a definitive mystery to that. It's one of those really good setups, kind of like Gargantua or Last Hope. What's that?
You got it, man.
Oh, man, I'm a sci-fi writer. I see what you're doing here. I'm super excited to read it.
I really love the design of these guys, too.
Yeah, the six eyes are great.
Those are like, not really eyes, though. It's kind of like sensors. They're just like, sensory things.
Do you want to tell us about the principal characters other than the monsters?
Oh yeah, so Teru.
Let's go back to the beginning of the dudes.
Yeah.
So that's the main character there.
Teru Kaufman, Mecha Mejia, and Jason Mill. Those are like the three main protagonists.
You want to go back to the concept page where we have full body shots of them? Yeah. I like Mecha Mejia. She thick. She got them humps.
That's right. Yeah, she don't take no guff either. She'll kick
I love the pose. She's like, pardon me, let me just put this missile.
Yeah, she wouldn't be doing that. Of course, she wouldn't be doing that. As the pilot, you're not going to load missiles on your own.
It doesn't matter. Really cool, bro. Really cool. That's her special missile that she wanted up in that plane, right?
I just had to get her into that position.
Right. Exactly. I freaking love it. See, you as an artist writer can do that. If I tried to communicate to Garrett, I want her to be sticking her butt out and her boobs, like silhouetted in the other way. He'd be like, "Nah, dude, why would we be doing that? Don't do that." You know what it took to get a shower scene out of him? Anyway. So tell us about these three.
Yeah, so they're all good friends and close confidants, and they work well together in the beginning. But Thru is he's like the superstar. He's not necessarily the best pilot. Actually, Jason is the best pilot. But Thru is like the tall, dark, good-looking one, and he gets pushed out into the public eye by one of the other characters who runs an organization known as SIM, Soul Interstellar Media. And so,
hey, that's Sugar Chris's co-host.
Yeah, Sim's in the book too. Years before I met him.
See, collective unconscious, like I was saying.
Yeah. Oh my God, the kismet. So Thru's like a big celebrity type on the planet. Imagine like the civilization of Barani. Barani is the name of the country or the nation on Tamarin 12. We really deal with like Barani or the VGC, the Barani governmental concern. Imagine them. They're like this goes to how far back I conceived of this. I'm thinking of Vietnam parallels.
Bro, I get it. You said you've been developing this for 30 years. I haven't been developing mine for quite as long, but when you're tapping into like the history of everything and you're trying to go back to explain the thing from the inception of it, it's like I'm gonna have to cover this whole span and explain to people where it came from. It's so hard to pitch these things because they've been living in your head forever, and you're like, I don't know where to start talking about this.
Yeah, so I gotta get it done.
Yeah, Mo's idea was really good. Imagine that you just saw a movie about your book, your property, and you just want to explain the basic plot or the basic idea to your friend in order to convince him to go see it. I think that's a fantastic way to work on pitching. So I'm totally going to do that before we go on Peter Samedi, and I have a nice condensed thing to throw out there.
Oh, you haven't been on Peter's yet?
No, I have not been on Peter's yet because we have not launched, and I've been in pre-launch, and I've been kind of like working on presenting it on that show. Yep.
Probably should.
Well, I know we should.
Yeah, I mean,
I know we should.
Yeah, for sure. You can. It doesn't matter if it's live or if you have a sign-up mailing list. You can just go on there. Just get people's eyes on it.
Yeah, we only need a few more before we do another giveaway.
Oh, that's a good point. We are closing in on our next giveaway. It's at 150 to something. I don't know. Yeah, we're not to 200 signups yet.
No.
Right? We need to get to 200 signups before I feel comfortable launching the book.
Well, 150 first.
Yeah, we got to get to 150 first. We got a couple weeks.
D-Wags in the chat.
Hey, what is up, D-Wag? And we got good stuff also.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I thought you already saw them. We had this good stuff. And
hail the chat,
stuff.
Hail the flat. Right on.
Hail.
So, you gave me these three characters. There are more. You want to go to the next page? Yeah, there we go.
I already did.
So, I love the idea of a homunculus. I think that was a fantastic idea. Just tell me a little bit about what a homunculus is.
Okay.
And who the pilot is. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to say.
A homunculus is it's almost exactly as if you can picture it, like a mech made of meat.
Meat mech.
Or like a humanoid shape. Think of sort of like Attack on Titan. Sort of think of that like in that transition. Are you familiar with that manga or anime?
Oh, yeah.
Attack on Titan. The transitionary stage when.
So are you a fan of David Cronenberg? making all your stuff out of organics. God. Do you remember Existence? Yeah, you're a Cronenberg fan.
It even goes back to like Doctor Who, or I remember seeing episodes of Doctor Who where as far back as the late 70s, where there were these creatures that had they were like nasty, like lobster without shell looking creatures, and they had this technology where they would like touch this gross looking stuff to control their ships. And from there up to Cronenberg with Existence and what else, Slither, what was that one? Rabbit.
There's a lot of property out there which uses like biomechanics or like mechano-organics, the interface between machine and man being made out of meat, or the machine itself being organic in some way. I've always been fascinated by that, and at the same time terrified, because that means that we are, underneath everything, we are just evolved consciousnesses inside our own little meat mechs. Mm-hmm. We could purge these meat suits and return to like the mainframe. Let's not go down that weird post-apocalyptic sci-fi hole.
Oh my god! Yeah. Hello there, Terrence McKenna. Oh wow!
That's funny. Yeah, that you mentioned that.
Yeah. So these mechs are at first. I kind of made the mistake of bringing this character Marine Bloodfeather out for this campaign because she won't appear until like the next volume or so. But at first, these mechs are used in sort of like a utilitarian service and for sport, like a competition. See, Marine Bloodfeather, she pilots homunculus mechs and she's a champion of this game show that's kind of like American Gladiators, but with homunculus mechs.
Nice.
So that's where you see the first appearance of them, but they have a later use.
So she's not really in Chapter 1, which is what we're still talking about.
Right, yeah, she's not.
Even though Volume 1 is what I want to be talking about. So in Chapter 1, you don't really see her too much. That's okay.
No,
we have
not at all.
We have a game show or a sport entertainment in the main series of MAVRICS, which is not MAVRICS Origins, which is a 6-on-6 MAV combat. So I know exactly what you're talking about, like American Gladiator with mechs. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, and that's where Teru kind of gets involved also in later volumes, where he gets sent down to the planet to compete in one of these games. To promote SIF and like what they're doing and get what's the word, morale going for the war, right? Mm-hmm. So Teru is kind of like the face of that, it all goes to his head, and he has the big fall from grace and all that stuff. And we'll see how it happens. I can't tell you right now, but. So that's how he relates to how the main character relates to Marine Bloodfeather and the homunculus.
And what about Captain Frank Mercury? Is he like the poster boy star? Maybe not the best, because we know that Jason's the best, but he's like the veteran combat pilot that everyone looks up to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, you're pulling too much out of me.
Well, he's the pilot of Striker Eureka. I know.
He trained Jason personally. So he's the best of the best. He's the captain of the Nephilim Squadron, and a very pivotal character who also is not what he seems to be. That's all I have to say about that.
Is he harboring a dark secret?
No. Well, he's done some dark things, but he's not a dark character.
Now, Lieutenant Commander Robin Lizard Lazara, I think she's actually my favorite character that you've got. I love her design. I love her hair. I love her smile. I love her curves.
That's funny because she's not very a very important character anyway.
I don't care. I just want to see more of her.
She's more of I can think of like a Wedge Antilles sort of character, kind of a control character who.
You know, they made an entire comic series off of Wedge, right?
Right, Rogue Squadron, right?
Yeah,
yeah, I have those.
She may not be important now, but she might be that fan favorite that you go, all right, we'll do a spin-off, unless you outright kill her in Volume 1, which would be a horrible thing to do to your character.
I think we'd all rather be Wedge than Biggs.
Is this live? Are we live right now? Because this is like a production meeting, right? Dude, I had plans for her sequel, so. Yeah, but in this story, she's not. She's kind of like a control character, right? It doesn't change much.
My apologies. My dog is running around being all squeaky and wants attention.
I think he's got to go pee.
I'm gonna go let him out.
Or he sees a chipmunk. Who knows?
Just make sure there's not like a bird or something.
I like dogs. Where's my dog?
All right. Yeah. Hashtag crackpack, hashtag no cowards.
Oh, crackpack.
Everyday bow. Crackpack for life. I think that was D-Wag is going to go lay down or something, and he's got us on the TV.
Yeah. So he's
all right, D-Wag.
Yeah.
You'll be streaming later.
We got a war. We got a war going on the surface of this planet against alien life form that wasn't there when we started colonizing. But over the course of 3 rapidly genetically engineered generations, these aliens have appeared to take it to our guys, and now we're fighting a war.
Yes, and they've developed weapons. They've developed human-like weapons, and they've also sort of evolved human-like attitudes. You'll see.
I love it. Hexpack. Yo, D-Wag, we could call him Crack Allen, right? I like the sound of Crack Allen. It just kind of
That's why I'm bouncing so much. Yeah, I'm bouncing so much. No, actually, I'm on a ball. I have to sit on a ball.
Like one of those. Yeah, that's good.
Oh, you see my back?
Those are great.
Alternative comics.
I see your alternate. Yeah, I very much do see your alternate. So you've got a war. You've got these guys, these aliens with human-like technology who kind of evolved out of nowhere, and now they're trying to destroy the humans on the planet. What are the stakes in this, and why should I care?
Well,
sell me as the reader.
Why should you care for the aliens? That's because
why should I care about what happens to everybody?
Oh, well.
Is the fate of the world in the balance? Or?
I think you should care for the aliens, because the people who run the Barani government, those are the villains. And it's because of them they've in a roundabout way they've created these creatures, and not only that, the reason these creatures are attacking them is because the
holy crap! So you're going with the whole clones of clones, where villains wind up. Really. They wind up being the genetic offshoots of the humans that have been colonizing the planet. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities here.
Well, kind of in a roundabout way. Yeah, that's where the meta story comes in.
They're not exactly the clones. That would be a little bit weird to finally go after that downed spaceship and rip him out of the cockpit. It's actually a suit that they're wearing, and you pull off his helmet, and it's you!
No.
That'd be crazy.
But the humans are using they've been abducting the El Savali over the years also, and extracting their blood for different experiments and such, and using it for drugs.
Nice. That's what I do to the aliens I encounter.
In a way of
use their blood for drugs, man. Yeah. Where do you think adrenochrome comes from?
Yeah, exactly.
Babies as aliens.
So a faction of the El Savali creatures, they're trying to find their abducted brothers and sisters, and stop these humans from experimenting on them. Really.
So the main characters are actually the baddies in a way, because they're fighting for the government that's awful. But I like that, because it gives you the opportunity for reversal, and then you're caught between a rock and a hard place. The right thing to do.
Yeah, that's where Yeah, that's where the authority is. They're stuck between this rock and the hard place. The soul.
Now I'm digging the stakes.
Yeah, they're like the United States in Vietnam, right? The soul is, or the sole interest of the forces.
And this would be like if you found out that you're responsible for indirectly creating the Viet Cong, and that your people have been experimenting on them and exploiting them, and now you've been sent to wipe them out because you've been told that they're waging a war against you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a familiar plot. I may have outlined something similar to that in my younger days.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It's actually talking to somebody about working on it. Who was that? Do you remember who it was? It was
man. We're like brothers from another mother.
Damn, what is his name? I was just looking at his bio earlier today in preparation.
Yes, Mo Biggs.
I don't know.
He had one of those really cool names too, kind of like Hex has got a name that isn't really Hex. No, whatever. I asked him about it, and he's like, "That's not my real name." Neither here nor there. That's going to bother me, but I'll tell you.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I know who I'm talking about, but I can't remember.
That guy with the arms, and he's got 2 legs.
He did have arms. I didn't see his legs. He was on
with
camera,
the
and his face was below the table. He did have a face.
Wait a minute, the guy with hair?
Yeah, the dude with hair. Hex doesn't have hair.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know.
He's
got eyebrows. Come on.
He's got. I mean, I think he's got eyebrows. I'm not. Does he? Yeah, he's got.
Well, as I get older, I seem to be losing eyebrows.
Hey, Warren, what is up? Good to see you.
Warren, hello.
The magic wand in the house. Yeah, like we were probably, at least connected on some psychic level and separated at birth, and now we've found our way back together, and you could probably do cool things in the future.
Fascinating.
So why don't we talk about the campaign itself while, we've spent an hour jabber-jawing about all this other stuff. Do you want to bring up the campaign, Frequency Girl, so that we can
think about it,
blast through the Chapter 1 and maybe get on to talking a little bit about Volume 1?
Yeah, I had to make sure I was selecting the
Which is it's funny. You called it Nephilim Squadron Volume 1 because it's the collected, volume. It's in Chapter 1 plus, right? And it's colorized.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. We're MAVRICS Origins Volume 1, so yet again. Just another similarity. I'm going to add your thing to the
I thought
thing.
it was already added.
There you go. So this is Chapter 1. This is currently in demand, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Mo Biggs.
Oh, what did he say?
Yeah.
He said he had
blonde
hairy legs and hairs turned blonde in the sun.
In the swimming pool, right?
You're right, Mo. I've blocked his name out because, that's what happens when you face trauma, right? You systematically, your brain just sort of shuts down and inflicts amnesia so that you don't remember the horrible things. That's how you get repressed memories. So yeah, that guy, the thing. So this is still in demand. How much longer is it going to be in demand?
Until June 30th. Until the end of June 30th, midnight. July 1st.
July 1st, and that's because you're preparing to launch.
Yeah.
You're preparing to launch Volume 1.
Yeah, and start fulfilling in July.
Nice.
Right on. All right. So what have we got here that this is our last chance to pick up before July 1st? Do you want to tell us some of the things that we're not going to get another chance to get?
Well, and in these tiers we have sketch cards, commission sketch cards that will include the 32-page black and white Chapter 1 of Nephilim Squadron, and it also includes the pinup and the stretch goal trading cards from my guest artists, those are the ones you want, right? You want the guest artist cards.
Who's your guest artist?
Yeah, I have guest cards from Preston Acevedo.
Hey, good choice.
Of Doc Salem fame, and Simon Fortier, the creator.
He's in the book.
Oh yeah, and I keep forgetting to mention that to him. I'm not sure if he's aware. He probably doesn't read the bios and stuff.
I mean, I don't read them, so.
He's the creator of Tales from the Netverse and Blood Hunts.
He's got a great trailer too.
Oh yeah,
and he co-hosts with Sugar Chris and other shows too. I've seen him.
Oh man, he's everywhere.
That's a really good price.
Everywhere.
$36 for the book and the sketch card commission.
Yeah. A fictional pop culture character.
Yeah, I was told I was lowballing. I should have charged more.
Yeah.
But that's why you got.
I can think of a particular
get this right now.
Pop culture character of my choice that I would want to pick up from Hex Allen. In case you were wondering, this fine badger right here I picked up at the art auction, the previous art auction on the Red Valkyrie channel, and I am digging it. That pose is amazing. That hand, the outstretched leg, I mean, everything about that, the way that the fist in the foreground, just that perspective, that line, excellent. I loved it. I loved it when I saw it.
Man.
I love it
Thank
now.
you so much.
And y'all should take the opportunity to pay $36 to get one of these for your very own. I mean, it's probably not going to be as big as mine, but then again, nothing anyone else has is ever as big as mine.
You proud of yourself?
I'm very proud of myself. So scroll down. So we've got in full color the digital. Now, I understand that you didn't get to print the book in full color. You only have the book in black and white. Is that the case?
Yeah.
But that's not the case with Volume 1. Volume 1's going
right.
color, right?
That's right.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I love that color that you got.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The color work is gorgeous.
Did I? Oh my gosh! I'm not at the. Oh shoot! I wanted to share a page that I'm going to put on my updates page to show that I'm working on color.
Awesome.
But I'm at the wrong station. I'm at the laptop and I can't. I don't have access right now.
So then there's the comic.
We're almost done.
By itself, no frills, no nothing, just the comic for $8. That's pretty good. Is there a particular tier that you think we should focus on if we're going to pick something up before it disappears?
I would go for either of the sketch card tiers, and you can get an extra sketch card as an add-on. You can get the digital as an add-on and the book as well.
Oh, that's great.
And since you can do that. The shipping is very low, so it would behoove you to get one of the sketch card tiers because the shipping is the same as the standalone tier.
Oh yeah.
And you get so much more. So much more. Oh yeah, what did I say? Simon Fortier. Who else? Jason Bascom.
Jason Bascom of Absolute fame.
Yeah, he did a fantastic. They all did a fantastic work for me. A passion for drawing, and just. Oh, wait! I know I'm forgetting somebody.
Hey, Steve Worcester.
Jason. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Jason Krager. That's the one that's still locked.
Oh, you haven't unlocked that one yet.
Yeah.
How much farther are we?
Oh. Russ Leach, only death can save us. The guy who does that, he did a card for me. Those 5 are unlocked, but Jason Krager is still locked behind the $3,000 wall. And there's only less than 200 to go to crack that open.
That's super close. We can make it happen.
Yeah, I still got.
It'll be tight. We got to push this book. Get those $36 sketch cards in everybody's hands to try and unlock that last one. All right,
and remember, you're underpaying for these sketch cards, these tiers.
Yeah, definitely.
I was told
I've taken a look at
undercharging.
Passion for Drawing's sketch cards and what he charges, and you're barely making margins on this, bro. Like, you're not making a 30% margin on it at all. So it's not like you're taking a loss, but you're not really making a profit on it. This is just to push the numbers on the campaign.
And yeah, I'm trying to get people to, say, hey, yeah, just not only to back it, but just once they get these items, that they're like, oh my god, I should be paying Hex Allen more.
Well, that's why
when they get on
Volume 1, you up the price a little bit. Because just the comic for $8, dude, I was like, holy crap, how's he gonna? But, you did. So, this next time, or first off, what is Shield Net Sword?
Oh, that's that's that silly mobile game I'm working on. I'm on a break from it right now until this campaign is done. But that's a simple rock, paper, scissors mobile game that I came up with. It's a side-scrolling 2D sort of thing where you control a character and you select your shield, net, or sword to correspond with your enemy's shield, net, or sword. Kind of like the sword is the scissors, shield is net, shield's the rock, and paper is the net. Yeah. And for this campaign, I just had the artwork that I associated with the game on this campaign, and that included trading cards, bookmarks, and prints. And I've since removed those from the campaign to focus on the book.
Yep, that makes sense.
So I need to focus on
the extra merch can really take up your attention, especially if you're making new art and prints and all that other stuff to try and stack onto the campaign. It really does detract from just grinding on the main book. We're definitely aware of that. We experienced it ourselves.
I got a little enthusiastic at the beginning, and I was like, I'm going to make this a cross IP campaign, and we're going to do this and this and that, and people are going to be great. No.
Bro, you have no idea what we've been up to. I get it. I mean,
brainstorming.
And it's tough. You're one dude. I'm three dudes. You know what I mean?
It's true. But I'm not a dude.
Well, you're a dude to me.
Oh,
so this campaign
Get your
coming
hand
up.
off my leg.
We call back. Good job. That's awesome.
Done.
Oh wait. Can I switch stations real quick?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
It'll just take just a second.
Whatever. I'll hide it. We'll look at Garrett's art.
All right. Yeah. Good.
Let me just my chicken scratch as I'm trying to lay out panels.
Right. I mean, that's really good. Because I can already see it taking shape. That's really
good.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I've seen your stuff before too, so I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, I can tell who all the characters are.
That is, I love Jen down in the lower left-hand corner. I love the fact that you put the 9-ball on him. That's such a wonderful little call out to the property. I'm a dude. She's a dude. He's a dude. Oh, we're all dudes. Hey, dude, now you're gonna get that in my head, Mo. Thanks. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know why I felt the need to correct you there, because I call everything a dude. Like, inanimate objects are dude.
That's why I pretty much brushed off what you said. And,
Well, I mean, that's not really different than any other point in time. So
happily married, folks. Oh yeah, Hex is definitely down with the crack pack.
We were calling him Crack Allen before.
Yeah, we were calling him Crack Allen. You let us know when you're all set up, Hex.
Well, the other thing we can do is show this.
This is the sign-up page for Volume 1. This is what I really wanted to talk about today. I appreciate that we're trying to get Hex numbers on his current campaign before he closes out July 1st. But I really wanted to talk about what's coming up in the future. And it's not just because I might be somehow have a vested interest in that having a good premiere. Not at all. We're gonna mute it. I got it covered. But yeah, look at the art here. It's crisp. The lines are tight. I like the colors again. Like, for me, color's a big part of a book. I understand that black and white works. There are very few books that I want to read in black and white. Luckily, Fiendish, Absolute, Cryptid Knolls, 3 of those right there work perfectly well for my tastes. I think there's one other one that I was looking at, but well, yeah, Automartyr was freaking dope in black and white. Yeah. So it's tough to do one that really can sell itself. So I'm really digging Nephilim Squadron in color. I wouldn't do my own book in black and white, Frog G says Warlash, Cold Metal Mayhem, and Bioburden #1.
You missed those.
I need to see these. I don't remember it was whose stream was it? It was, help me out with this, Frog G. Last night at 4 a.m, Hex was on it, and we were hanging out in the chat, and someone said something about Western comics, not comics from the West, but comics about cowboys. And Frog G just started I was like, okay, we got, Octopus Cowboy, we got Six Gun Gorilla, and we got Jack Irons. And then Frog G was like, and this, and this, and this, and this. And it was like, holy crap, there were things I hadn't even heard of that he was listing. So when Frog G starts naming off properties, I'm usually trying to scribble them down so I can look into them later.
Yeah.
Fancy Sci-Fi Echo, yes.
I already put that up.
Okay, well, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, it was Michael. Yeah, it was Michael T's. Thank you very much, Woodrow. All right, I'm just going to mute Hex. There we go. Hex is now muted, ladies and gentlemen. Mobig says, I forgot Frog G was here, or I wouldn't have bothered posting it. I always feel dirty posting Kickstarter. Like when I have to post links to Ravelcopter. Oh, man. I know a lot of people don't dig Kickstarter, but there's still some good books over there. And I've been talking to people whose Kickstarter campaigns we really like, who are reaching the point where their campaigns are over, but they might be able to migrate them to Indiegogo to go in demand. So I think that's kind of at least getting people who wouldn't be able to get that book because it only runs on Kickstarter, the opportunity to back it because it's on Indiegogo. I'm not saying they are going to. I'm just saying I'm trying to open it up so that we can enjoy more of the intellectual property that we wouldn't otherwise be able to consume simply because we don't like the platform. I understand. I'm not going to ask people to change, so I'm going to find a different solution that appeases them and solves the problem. And now Mobiggs is going to say something to make fun of me, and that's fine.
Sign up to get your day one launch trading card.
Pops Fazette says Frank is old school heavy metal, not new school heavy metal.
So in the chat, we've been talking about Frank, who has
Frank Salazar
Kickstarter campaign. No,
oh no, Frank
something I don't remember. And he has a Kickstarter that's finishing up on Saturday, and Pops was trying to get him on shows.
Yeah, Frank Forte.
Yeah, look into that. I don't know. I think we're fully booked up this week, so we might
are.
not be
That's
able
why I
to
was
have him on
asking
before he
if
closes.
he's going to do Indiegogo afterwards, because we could have him on for Indiegogo.
Yeah, we could just
through the end of June.
We could shill the in demand.
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be something I want to read though. Because in case you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have people on this channel who I don't want to read their stuff or back their book.
It looks
I just
pretty
don't
cool.
have them. I don't have time for all of you.
Oh,
It's true.
It's true though. There's like 200 creators that are making stuff right now, and that's just in CG. There's the whole Kickstarter side of things, which has some really great stuff that I want. Like I said, that I want to read, but I don't really get the opportunity to talk about them because they're on Kickstarter. So, yeah, unless it's something I'm going to back myself or read myself, I just don't have time to talk about it.
I think you'll like it. I checked it out. It looks pretty cool.
All right, cool. We did. We went and checked it out. I will like it. Pops knows me well, so.
Yeah. Frank, I've seen his work. He's good. Frank Forte.
Cool. We are definitely going to check it out. So
we follow each other on Twitter.
This coming campaign that you've got for Volume 1, are you going to be putting out more stretch goals, merch, anything like that, or are you trying to stay as lean as possible?
More volume.
More.
I'm going to have more farther spaced stretch goals this time.
How far?
From 5,000 to like 10,000. and you know, it's going to be this one's going to be in demand for a while. So because I
so
don't
you still have the
on,
opportunity to unlock that because you're going to count any sales made during your time in demand towards unlocking stretch goals.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that with fulfillment being the case? Like, I understand that, like, Lucent and a bunch of other things, like, I can't even remember all of them, like Codename Kill Switch and which of the other big books that we backed a while back that haven't shipped yet? You guys know what I'm talking about. But they've been in demand. They've done serious numbers, but they haven't fulfilled yet because, you know, stuff keeps trickling in. How would you go about doing that if this thing stays in demand and slowly we're going to unlock those stretch goals? Would you wait to fulfill?
I guess ultimately I just have a deadline for fulfillment, which would be around this time next year. So it's going to be a longer in
almost a year to get my Nephilim Squadron.
But there's a benefit though in doing it this way, since this volume 1 is pretty much a third done already. By the time I'm done with volume 1, I can be working on volume 2, and then have volume 2 ready to have a shorter shipping window.
For that,
yeah, right, and have a shorter shipping window for each subsequent volume.
But it's not going to really matter, man, because December 12th is coming up.
Yes, December 12th, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. It is the end. So I don't even know why we're running these campaigns. I mean, I know that mine's going to happen in July along with yours, and I'll probably be fulfilling, around that time. It'll be going out late November so that people can have it for Christmas. But yeah, what's the point if you don't get this volume into people's hands because we have to wait a year and the world ends in December? You know what I mean?
I know. I tried on my website. I promised to have this in your hands by December this year.
But I figured you meant chapter 1 is what I figured.
Yeah, I guess ideally I wanted volume 1, but long ago I decided just going to truncate it and just to have it fulfilled this year before the end of the year, just have chapter 1 do that, serve that purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I want to read it. That's the thing. Like, even if you have to give it out, like, for the digital, I want to be able to experience your sci-fi property and read it. Like, that's the important thing for me, is I want to know what it is. Because that gives me even better idea of going into backing volume 1, which is going to be like twice the size, if not more, and have all of the perks and be in full color.
And you're asking
digital
about that
is color, so you know what I mean?
The end goal, you were talking about the end goal for stretch goals. The crack pipe, the hashtag crack pipe dream, the pie in the sky, I think would have to be a 3D printed model of the Glav FT fighter.
I got you, bro. I got you. I got your back on that.
Yeah. You got a 3D printer?
We've got a STL sculptor designer who's making our MAV, and we've got a line on a dude who mass produces 3D printed models. There will be a MAV figure in the merch tier for this book. It will not be an add-on. It will be in the merch tier. So I got your back if you need that. We're brothers, right?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Our Pie in the Sky tier is an animated short. That's all I'm gonna say. You know how expensive animation is. So.
Oh yeah.
A 10-minute animated short can be it can be a little bit pricey. Are you gonna do any? Are you gonna do any variant covers for Volume 1?
Yes.
Dude, that's dope.
But it's just a matter of gathering people who have the time and willing to do it, and and how much they want to accept I mean, how much money they were willing to accept, or how little money they were willing to accept.
I think people are always willing to accept more money, but but this, all right. So I didn't know there's this inside baseball thing where artists can trade each other work and favors and stuff, being like, dude, I need lines or inks done on this thing. I'll trade you this piece of art that I've got if you'll do that thing for me. And I was like, oh, this is so not fair because I don't get to participate in it. I have to shell out money like a normal person. Do you have any plans to like recruit some side talent and trade some favors? Wheel and deal to get another cover or additional art stuff. Maybe some of those stretch cards, sketch cards. Stretch cards. Hey,
they're stretchy.
That's what we're calling them. We're calling them stretch cards now. They're sketch cards that are stretch goals.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess at first I've been going for the big fish, but of course, I haven't gotten any responses back from.
Mo says he wants to remind me, probably both of us, about this currency known as exposure that we pay artists in. Right, Garrett? You know all about that, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just gonna ignore you.
That's when the clothes come off.
I'll let you draw my book for me. It's a really great exposure for you to get out into the world and get your name known because it's attached to my brand. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's 110 outside. You turned on the heater.
It's really cold in our basement.
We're on the northeast. And it's like really 60 degrees
outside today.
I keep thinking you're in Arizona.
I wish, bro. Arizona's great, and the gun laws are so much less restrictive. So, other than the hope to get a 3D printed model, which would be super dope, and doing variant covers, do you have any other stretch goals or merch? Maybe, I don't know, a patch? Has anyone talked to you about patches yet? I have a pretty good feeling that someone's talking about patches.
He was on Red Valkyrie yesterday, so I'm assuming that conversation.
I just want it reiterated.
Yeah, we're gonna. I have patches in mind for the Nephilim Squadron, for the Vimana Squadron, for the Lung Ta Squadron, for the Ketsa Squadron.
D-Wag, you should be sleeping. Hashtag crack pack naps. Go to bed.
He's got to take a nap for the next stream.
Right? Yeah. No, that's great. I love the idea of doing patches for the different squads so that you can like have the one that you like the most, the design. We're doing patches too. Ours are okay. They are what they are. They're simple, but
they're good.
Yeah, I want to keep it simple. Those pagers are looking awesome, Garrett.
Oh, thank you.
You should see the ones he's finished.
Oh.
They're okay. Yeah, they're okay.
This one here is getting reworked pretty heavily. Some changes came up in the script.
That's my fault. That is my fault. When we started redrawing things, I was like, you know what? I'll start rewriting things. That's what happens. Right? You decided I'm going to make some corrections and add some panels. Okay, you do that. I'm going to go over here and rewrite entire pages.
Especially pages that I've reworked.
Already.
Man. Yeah, I love that. Really good. I love that part of the creative process. Is for me, it's not so difficult because I don't have to get upset at myself too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't yell at yourself. You don't like shake your fist at yourself and be like, bro.
There are a few panels, like there was particularly this one panel that a long time ago I planned in the thumbnails for it to be a one whole page panel. Just one scene that takes up the whole page and panel. And then when I started doing the production of it on the artboard. I just called an audible, and then I was like, "No, this can just be one panel." And it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so now it's a 5-panel page, and that one panel is just kind of shrunken. So it makes for much more efficiency. in the layout. So, yeah, like making changes it can make things better, you know.
I mean, that's the one thing that I'm confident about is that all of the changes we're working on are absolutely for the better.
Yep. Even if it's gotta, be delayed a little.
But I mean, like, it's the funny thing is, like, I think this as being that you work in the arts as well. Sometimes when you're working on a drawing, you're in love with an arm or a leg or a hand or one piece of it that I nailed that. But after you've sat with it for a while and you look at it, you go, even though I love that one thing I drew, it's the way it's attached to the rest of the body or the part of the composition that it's in is just wrong, and you have to just cut the whole damn thing off. And you got to erase it and keep working it, right?
Yeah.
So like darlings, right?
Shoot your babies.
Yeah. So sometimes you really got to be objective with what you're doing and say, you know what, I like parts of this, but it's wrong, and I need to redo it. And it's painful, but it ends up usually providing a much better piece at the end.
I have learned to be far less attached to shit.
Yeah.
There's still some things that I'm like, no, hard line. But I've become a lot more flexible with, okay, we can just get rid of that entire chain of dialogue that doesn't suit the book anymore. Don't worry that I spent a week and a half coming up with it the first time. Just delete it. And I'm being legitimately serious here. Like there is a rule: do not compromise a scene for a line. Do not compromise a movie or whatever for a scene. You've got to be doing it the other way around. You can't build for the small. You have to build for the large, and everything kind of fills that. If something isn't filling that, it isn't quite working. Get rid of it and get something better.
Yeah.
That was my bit of wisdom. Do you have any advice for first-time comic book creators that are trying to make their own book, like us?
Don't do it alone. Gather a team. Collaborate. Otherwise, it's going to be a hell of a headache.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine people who do it all 100% by themselves, because I feel like I'm not, overstepping to speak for all three of us when I say that I think we all sometimes feel a little overwhelmed with how much goes into all of this. Yeah. So one person having to take on all of that, the writing, the art, the promotion, the organization, the fulfillment, all of that, that's a lot for one person.
I mean, I know why you guys wouldn't be able to do it without me, but I don't know how he does it himself.
I don't know. I started reading freaking Nietzsche. Yeah.
So God is dead, and yeah. All right.
That's a misinterpretation.
It's true. Hey, puppy, what's up? Hey, hello. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Puppy dog. Going big on the puppy.
Yeah. I love a dog.
This here is JoJo.
This is the puppy boy. Guys,
he's actually 3 years old this week.
Wow.
It's his birthday.
That's a big JoJo.
Who's that up there? Who's that up there? That's Hex Allen. Say hello to Hex Allen.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Say hi to the chat.
Hello. Hello.
Okay. Go back down.
Go back down. We'll go play. So what about people who are trying to run their crowdfunder for the first time? I guess the same advice applies. Don't try and do it yourself. You can't do it alone. But what other thing would you give as a piece of advice? What is it? So the dog shows up. It is true. The dog shows up when it's time to end the stream.
Oh no!
He's got the best.
He's an alarm.
But we got a little more time.
I just had it. Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Hey, LLP, I got a box today. Just so you know, I did. I got a box, and I'm going to get a video camera and a knife. And I'm going to take a look at what's in that box.
Oh, speaking of boxes.
You got a box?
Oh,
that's a nice wolf box you've got there.
Year of the wolf.
Don't get him started.
Year of the werewolf.
Listen, like, it will be time to end the stream if you keep howling.
I could do it. Please don't. Okay.
Yeah, now we're howling. It's time. Wait, what was the question again?
What piece of advice do you have for people who are crowdfunding for the first time, other than don't do it alone?
Yeah, okay. I would say don't rush into it. Wait until you're absolutely ready to pull the trigger. I kind of rushed into it. I got too excited. My campaign suffered for it. But, I got funded, and, don't do it alone, and don't pull the trigger too early. And pay attention to that mailing list, before it expires.
Yep. Get your mailing lists downloaded before your pre-launch page expires.
I think I've downloaded them like 87 times because I'm so neurotic about that happening.
Yeah,
I'm just like several times a day. I'm like, I need to download it again. I need to save it. I'm gonna save it here and on thumb drive and on the Google Drive. I'm gonna email it to myself.
I did like 40 times, and I lost that pre-launch page, just like Boob Dan lost his. See, everyone good.
We got a notification saying that ours was going to expire, and I'm like, no, I counted this out. It's not supposed to expire till like the
July
day after
21st.
our launch.
Yeah.
And I emailed them, and they're like, no. According to our records, it's this. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to make a new page. So we did, and the other one didn't expire because they said it was going to expire at the beginning of June. So I don't know. They don't know what they're doing.
LP raises a good point. He says, take your time to find a reliable team. People who can finish what they start. That's the best advice. I completely agree. I mean, look at the team I put together. I can't say the same why they picked me, because, finishing what you start and all of that, like, sure, I know that they'll do it, but,
He jokes, but he gets stuff done.
Y'all can't, you're not ready for what we got in store.
He likes to kind of like put himself down.
Garrett keeps telling me not to do that because it gives the wrong impression to everybody and makes us seem like a disorganized mess.
Not even that. Just value yourself.
Okay. Well,
no, that's
general advice out there. Value yourself.
That's good.
Fair.
That's good too.
Our campaign is going to be very strong. I have taken all of the advice everyone has been giving me. They have not known they've been giving me, but I've been asking everyone who comes on the show for advice, and they give it to me. So I've been having people on the show for 6 months now, planning to launch this campaign and getting everything in order and getting it ready. So we did not rush into it. We did develop a team. We recruited lots of people from outside this little trio to develop, market, and create the different parts of the campaign that we have.
I might have a nervous tick and no hair left by the time it's done, but it'll be good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we won't sink all of our money into it, and we'll still be able to afford a wig.
I was going to say, otherwise we'll just do a campaign to buy me a wig.
Yeah. No, that would be a GoFundMe. I don't think we could give them any rewards.
The reward is
some
knowing
sweet
that
fashion shots at the end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We've got some sweet fashion shots of MAVRICS coming out soon enough. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell the people out there on the internet? Frog G says, tickle the algorithm, smash the like, ding the bell, and if you want some cool global frequency swag, check out the store. That is probably the coolest link that Frog G has in his quick links. At least it's my favorite that he has. Is there anything else you want to tell people out there?
Hashtag mod the frog.
Oh, dude, that's a good one.
What?
Hashtag mod the frog.
That's not mine.
What?
Boob Dan says that all the time.
Who says that all the time?
Boob Dan.
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna have to.
Every region cycle.
Yeah, mod the frog.
Hashtag mod the frog.
Well, we got to get Hex Allen his Allen keys too, so we got to wrench.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. Oh man, so much synchronicity.
I laugh when I find out that I'm a mod on a channel. I'm like, what do I do?
Wait.
I think it was Michael T's channel last night. I finally started dropping links, being like, I'm useful. And then Frog G was like, but I'm Frog G. And I was like, I'm just going to say late here and watch the show.
He was hopping around all over the place last night on Michael T.
Yep.
Man, Frogs.
Yeah, you were there.
Machine. Yeah.
You were
I was there for a few hours.
I was watching you.
I know. It was like it was in a fever dream.
Mm-hmm. It was at 4 a.m. for me. I couldn't sleep.
I'm sorry, Mo Biggs. I did not mean to disappoint you.
Is it because you can't time me out anymore?
Oh, you can't time out another mod? I thought you still did it.
No, I don't remember. I think it was before you made me a mod. If it makes Mo happy, you can de-wrench.
I will de-wrench you.
So he
Can't be that bad,
right?
I got to get on that stream next Sunday.
You should.
Wait. What's next Sunday? Next Sunday is Father's Day.
It's not next Sunday.
Next
so
Sunday is going to be a role-playing stream, actual role-playing this time, not just tabletop gaming, board gaming. But the week after that, the week after Father's Day, we'll be singing again. So you should come.
All right. What the hell makes you think I want to sing?
Yeah.
Who would have listened to
You got
my
it, Mo.
voice anyway?
We will be yanking Nefarious's wrench.
I will yoink it.
Hashtag justice for Nefarious. It's the de-wrenching all over again.
We'll have to have a ceremony. We'll do it on Wednesday.
Right? Strip him of his wrench.
The de-wrenching.
All right.
Maybe
So
it's more of a Friday.
we're getting really silly. What? What's one more thing?
Weren't we doing something together?
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, man, we can talk about that.
Well,
I can't give them a preview yet, but we can talk about it.
But we can talk about it.
Okay.
But the artist is on. He's signed. He's paid, or half up front, because you don't pay them all up front, or they'll just leave. Yeah, we're doing a crossover print. We're doing a really cool crossover print for our campaigns that if you back both Nephilim Squadron and MAVRICS, you get a sick 8 by 11 or whatever. It's the A4 size print. Unless you want to do a poster, which we could do, I guess. We'll figure out the dimensions. But I think a print is good because then you can
8.5 by 11 print.
You can frame anything.
Yeah, you can frame anything.
Yeah.
Want to frame trading cards?
I mean, you could, but why?
I mean, you could, but I mean, it'd be.
Yeah, we've definitely got a
artist,
crossover print that we're doing. Yep, we got a good artist for it.
Amazing.
The artist is dope. It's already squared away. He actually contacted me last night talking about the composition ideas that we spoke of, and he has access to both of our shared reference material folders. So he's started work.
All right.
It's gonna be dope. I can't wait to show it to you. I'm not going to show it to the rest of the world until the campaigns go live, but it'll definitely be ready by the time the 17th rolls around and you go to launch. I will have to wait for the 22nd to roll around before I can show it. So you get to go first.
But maybe we'll show it to the people signed up on our pre-launch.
Yeah, we could show it to just the people signed up to the pre-launch, though. We're not going to make it public until Hex gets to have his thing.
Well, I mean, like in between Hex and...
I'm going to also have to do something more substantial for the MAVRICS campaign in terms of art.
Oh, you did something already that we're going to probably be using.
Oh, that was just fan art. That wasn't like...
Yeah, but we're going to put it in the book. We're going to get colored and thrown in the book, man. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, by the way. That was great.
Yeah, that was a very sweet surprise.
Yeah, I felt that the Badger wasn't enough. So I had to.
I appreciate that, but the Badger was worth every penny. Nobody draws the Badger. Mike Barron is a underrated genius. I have followed that character from 3 different studios, from First Comics all the way to Image eventually, and I love that character. I identify with him.
I saw Garrett looking at me like
schizophrenic Vietnam War veteran who knows martial arts for no reason.
Yeah. And was friends with a druid, a 900-year-old druid.
who lives in a castle and can talk to animals too. Yeah. And he's married to a Asian lady who practices holistic medicine. I mean, the whole setup is just hilarious. Yeah. And he calls everybody Larry. Yeah. I love the book, man. It's so good. It's so silly.
Larry was his abusive stepfather.
Yeah, it was. So when he gets mad at people, he calls them Larry. Yeah. And then he proceeds to oofda kick their butt, you know.
So I didn't know about the badger before I met Aaron, but I know him now.
You're better for it. Yeah, now you know.
So we had a whole schooling.
Oh boy.
We've gone for an hour and 40 minutes. You realize that?
Almost an hour.
We need to end this show. So we can hang out in the back room, but these poor people, they're like, you know, there's still 9 people watching for some reason.
You guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you all for watching. Thanks for coming, chat. And thanks, chat, for chatting.
Yeah. So that's going to be it from us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications.
And tune into the frequency.
You can say we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.
Roll the outro.